Okay, sorry about that. It's been a little while since I've been around, and I'm so sorry. But unfortunately, I'm another one of those poor, helpless souls who suffers from mental illness. I have really bad depression and anxiety, and it's actually ruining my life. And many of the medications they have tried me on are either killing me physically or driving me either further over the edge of insanity. So, yeah, it's been a little while since I've been on here, and it's because I've been battling with my demons, unfortunately. But anyway, I figured I would bring that to the point, whether it hurts my reputation or not. It's bringing to light a very important issue that many of us are afraid to, talk about. And I think it's critical that we do because people are dying. So, you need to deal with this stuff. But anyway, onto a more entertaining note, because that's why you guys come here, I hope. I'm trying to entertain you and teach and stuff. If you're anything like me, you like to pick up random crap that either looks cool or, may be cool. And I do frequent the shit shops, like we've got all sorts of random little not pawn, like second-hand shops, like Salvation Army and stuff around here. And I do go there, and sometimes I find cool things. So what did I find this time? I found these really decent quality. Like, they're heavy. They're very Chinese, but I don't think they're full of lead. But they do have one issue. The battery's no good. So I went and picked one up. They also come with this little Bluetooth transmitter, which may be handy. It may be handy. It looks like you can take this and plug it into a Walkman or something. This is actually a cool era to get a device like this from, because, this is kind of handy. Like, I could plug this into my, everything I've got's Bluetooth, but hypothetically, I could plug this into a laptop that doesn't have Bluetooth audio and connect it to a Bluetooth speaker, so that's a kind of handy little useless thing to have around, I guess, but we don't want that. Don't need that right now. In the meantime, what I do want is this headset, because I'm getting very busy with starting up a new consulting business, and having a handy little headset like this around may actually be good. So these little headsets here, many people dispose of them because the batteries go in them, but you don't need to. They are bloody easy to repair, okay? Now here's what I'm going to teach you today. The trick is, first of all, hobby shops carry the batteries that you need, because drones and little quadcopters and all that crap, they all use these little lithium cells, or whether it's lithium polymer or lithium ion. I got mine at my local hobby shop, Jack's Hotspot here in Peterborough, and I love that place. Anytime I need a battery, bloody hell, he's got it. He's also got all sorts of really handy precision tools when I need them, so I don't have to order them online. Remember, it's important to support your local business, eh? So this one's slightly smaller than the cell that's in this. This one's designed for a 500 milliamp hour. This is only a 300, but who cares? It's not like I'm going to be living in this thing. I've got to play Plantronics for other purposes. So anyway, when you look at these headphones, the cool thing is, if you want to get into them, the battery is typically on the side with no buttons or anything, like on the crap side. So you have one side with like the USB port and like all the buttons and stuff. Yeah, that's not where you're going to find the battery, because that's where all the guts are. Over here's where the battery is. And with any headphones, here's how you get them off. There's a seal in here, and if you stretch this a little bit, it comes off. So you get into them. Okay. You're going to make a liar out of me, aren't you? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take this and put it aside. I'm pretty excited about these things. I really hope I'm not wrong about them. Okay, so we've got 3 little screws here.
What section of B1 are you guys in?
So I'm going to take the 3 little screws out.
Which one, the very center or the top?
Yeah.
I haven't checked B1 all the way.
Yeah, like, they're pretty heavy. For what they are, they're like behind the head. But, okay, so let's flip them over now. And I've already been into them, by the way. There's the cell. Okay, so let us pry that cell out. Okay. The cell is done. So that's the proper cell that should be in it. It's a 500 milliamp hour. And let's look at the measurements on here, because I'm probably going to destroy it during the video, and I want to keep a record of this. So this guy is roughly 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters by 2.5 roughly, by about what is that? Half a centimeter thick? Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's that little guy here. And for entertainment purposes, let me do something absolutely, I'd say the R word, but I'd probably get in trouble for that. Where is the plate? You know what? This old router will do the job just fine. Let's see what happens if I go like this. Oh, safety glasses. You always want safety glasses when you're doing something dumb. Oh, would you look at that? It really is that fucked. Well, that's no bueno. Yeah, this battery is that dead that it didn't even react. Good thing too, because I've got it in my bare hand. Okay, I'm going to put this in the fire bin next to me here. Okay, so now, that guy's screwed. So, what do we got here? We've got our positive and negative leads right there. I've already trimmed them, so literally all we need to do is just desolder. Now, the reason why I didn't just cut them off and redo the leads altogether is because if you look at these, if you've ever worked on headphones before, they use this nightmarish, it's a type of stranded cable, like stranded copper, and unfortunately, it's got like fuzz inside of it to strengthen it, and it's got like some type of an enamel on it, which makes it a pain in the ass to work with. So, what we're going to do instead is I'm simply just going to desolder that. Now, we've also got the new battery leads here, which I'm going to cut them off just a little close like that. We don't want to short these bad boys out, because that would not be good. Now, let's see if our heat shrink that I've pre-prepped is going to work. Is this going to be the right size for these little battery leads? Oh, it's just tight. I don't know if I want to use that. You know what, I can probably stretch it just a little bit, only because I want to make sure that I've got a tight fit on these guys. Alright, so there's some black and some red. By the way, I buy most of this heat shrink locally as well. I can order this in packs. So, there we go. Alright, so first things first, let's trim off a little bit of heat shrink to actually do both pieces at the same side. I want to make sure that the lengths are fairly close. Yeah, that's probably too much. Right there's probably enough. Alright. Got one piece, two piece. I love One Piece. That's such a great anime. Okay, so I'm going to slip it over here. Because, you know, if you try to do the heat shrink after you've soldered, it just sucks. It's a pain in the arse. I've done it before, and you have to desolder and redo it. So first things first. Let us just strip off just a teeny tiny little bit of this conductor here. Not very much. Now, as you can see, these leads are designed to carry a lot more current than we're going to require here for this particular application, but whatever. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to put just a tiny bit of flux on here, because you know me, I am in love with flux. It just makes life so much better. And I'm going to use a moderate gauge solder for this one. Of course, leaded, because lead is awesome. I don't care if it causes cancer and, you know, dementia and Alzheimer's, but I might one day when I've got Alzheimer's and that, because that'll probably happen. Dealing with these chemicals all the time. I deal with worse chemicals than that, like UV curable epoxies. But you know what? I just hate tin solder. It sucks. It really sucks. Ask anybody who solders all the time, and they'll tell you that it sucks. Okay, so let's see here. We're just gonna can we get that to be nice and streamlined? There we go. Okay, there's one. You remember, your local hobby shops will carry these batteries. Oh yes. Just take the original battery in, and if it's not some chain store and it's actually like a local guy running it, they're usually pretty decent, and they'll actually say, yeah, here, I'll try to help you find a battery for that. Alright. Well, that's all that there is for soldering it now, so look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Let me just turn off one of the lights here. There you go. So that's basically all it needed. It's just a new battery, and these are cool little Bluetooth headphones. I can't wait to play with them. So now let's deal with the heat shrink part. Okay, so we're gonna slide the heat shrink here very, very carefully over the connections. Try to get them over the silicone leads here. Yeah, get on there. We don't need a runaway battery inside of a friggin' headphone that's glued to your head. That'd really suck. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so that's on there now. Alright, so we're going to heat shrink these guys. Nice thing is once you get this thing, once you get them hot, you can see exactly how much you've got on the ends of the leads. Alright, so that's cool. Alright, so that's all there is to replacing the battery. Now, as far as fastening it back into the enclosure goes, there was some nice little foam in here. But instead I'm going to put some silicone caulking. Not too much because, we got some RTV here. If you put on too much, it'll just be a pain in the ass to get it out in the future if you've ever got to change the battery again, which will inevitably happen. Because we haven't started using lithium fluoride yet. They haven't really perfected those. Their new battery tech. Okay, so that's in there. Now, because that's going to take a little bit to, you know, solidify, I'm just going to find a little helper here. Like a little piece of gauze here. Just to hold. There we go. There's a nice little piece of gauze. I'm just going to put this in here to hold the battery in place while the silicone cures. And we will put this bad boy back on.
As long as it's not Star Citizen, I'm happy.
There we go. Oh yeah, actually it's going to work out quite well, I think. Alright, so I'm just going to pinch that a little bit. She is a little bit tight right now, only because I just put the gauze in there. Now, working on headphones isn't too difficult. Let's see here.
Oh, you want some space, my dude?
There we go. Okay. So this is back together now. Now I'm going to do one final test before I put the muff back on. Yeah, it still works. Okay, so now make sure I don't have any silicone on my hands. Let's get this little headphone on. This is the worst part, actually, trying to get the bloody headphone piece back on. It's a pain in the ass. Okay, here we go. You just got to go around. Once you get it started, it's kind of does its own thing. So you just kind of have to keep a finger on one side so it doesn't, like, undo, you know, whatever. There we go. So we'll just go along. You just kind of stretch it over it.
Maybe find out how many there is first.
I know this is kind of a boring video, but hey, it's necessary. I mean, every now and again, somebody finds something cool, and it's just like, oh, it doesn't work. All it needs is a battery, though, but I don't know how to change the battery. That's why I'm doing this. Especially when you can, like, I paid like $3 for these stupid things. It's not bad. I mean, they don't have a brand, and they seem very, very generic, but I find that usually if things have a weight like these things do, that they'll have a decent sound to them. The drivers in them are actually half decent too, so there we go, because I tested them earlier on my bench power supply before I actually decided to make the video. Just wanted to make sure that these things were actually still good first, because I do test things before I work on them. So there we go. We've got a nice new set of Bluetooth headphones, and yeah, they're like mint condition. Somebody abandoned them because it probably bought them at a garage or something and found out that they didn't work, and then they're just like, ah, screw it, I'll just send these in the donation bin somewhere. So yeah, now I get a chance to play with them. Alright, so that's all there is for today, folks. I'm going to try to do some more editing and get some videos out there now, because I have a lot more free time in my hands right now. I'm doing consulting for companies, so I don't have to move around as much. I can do a lot more work from home. But anyway, yeah, keep that in mind, folks. If any of you guys are suffering from depression or anxiety or anything, you know, do not be afraid to seek help. I mean, it's critical. I mean, you may be broken, but you can be fixed. You just need the right practices. Okay? So anyway, you guys have a great day, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you guys want to say. If my video gets a strike against it for saying Merry Christmas, then so be it. The world is broken. Catch you later. Bye.